Good evening, and welcome to Conversations with Camden. Tonight, we're going to talk about back to school. Believe it or not, it's about that time. And so we need to talk with our new incoming students and maybe give them some tips and give you a chance to ask some questions of our new students. I am the admissions director. My name is Casey Robinson. And if you're a new student watching and you've already been accepted, you probably have some correspondence from me already. But we do have some students tonight here to kind of help and answer some questions about what the experience is like. So parents, enrollees, prospective cadets and families that may be watching, feel free to participate in the conversation tonight. We want you guys, this to be an interactive session. Please go to your social media site of choice. We're on everything. You can snap us. You can go to Facebook, Twitter, use a hashtag Camden Military, and we will get that question asked to our guys. And then also, or if you're watching us on YouTube, you can go right down to the comment section of YouTube and we can address those questions. So send them to us and we will get them on the air. But first off, I want to thank these guys for joining us tonight because it is summer and we're a little bit more relaxed. And I had to get them for, to give up a night. And I really appreciate it, guys. But we have 3 students with us tonight and I'm going to give them a chance to introduce and tell you who they are and where they're from. And then we'll jump into our conversation. So we'll start out with Benitez first.
Hi guys,
Right.
I'm Eddie Benitez. I'm from Lake Forest, California. I have been attending this school for 2 years, going on for 3 years. I'm currently a master sergeant, and yeah.
And that's good. And just to give you a heads up, Eddie tonight has on the dress uniform. So the uniform that Benitez has on is what you would not wear that on a typical day, but for certain ceremonial events and parade days, we would have the dress uniform on. And then we'll go next to Levine. How about introduce yourself? Tell us who you are and where you're from.
Hi, I'm Andrew Levine from Long Island, New York. Been at Camden for 2 years now. I'm going on to my 3rd as a senior, and currently going in as a staff sergeant.
All right. And Furlough, your turn.
I'm Nick Furlough. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina, and this is my year attending Camden Military Academy, and I will be.
All right. Now, guys, we're going to start out, and I guess I'll start out this one with Levine. We'll go to you first. And I'm sorry I used the last names, guys, but just used to that during the school year, so I'll probably use your last name. But Andrew, tell us a little bit about what is something that maybe is a must-pack item? What's something that maybe you want to tell cadets that they need to bring?
Most important thing I would think of that's must-have is a lot of white plain T-shirts that aren't V-necks, since you'll be wearing that a lot under your class uniform. Another thing that you might want to be bringing is a plentiful amount of black and white socks that aren't ankle socks.
Okay, so more like the crew socks. Yeah. Yeah, and we get those kind of questions. I'll go ahead and throw this out there. I have emails from parents all the time. Can he bring boxer shorts? Does he need bikinis? Does he need briefs? We don't care what kind of underwear he wears. We just want to make sure they're not all red with hearts or designs on them because our students do have to wear white pants, and so you want to make sure that something can't be seen through that. But otherwise, the socks, you do want to bring some crew socks. You are allowed to wear the ankle socks or no-show socks during the free time. But how about Furlough? Nick, tell me something maybe that you forgot to pack that you wish you'd have had when you first arrived.
Something that I forgot to pack was probably towels, because you're going to be taking a shower every day and you send your laundry out probably twice a week, and it takes about a day to have the laundry cleaned and then sent back. And so I brought probably 2 towels and thought it'd be good, but I ended up needing probably about 4 or 5 because you take a shower every day and you're always getting dirty, so you need to keep taking showers, and you send those towels out and it takes about a day and you don't want to run out of towels.
All right, good one. And speaking of that, the shower supplies, I get that question a good bit as well. I would, one recommendation that I tell everyone is to bring a shower caddy when you have the shampoo and, soap, everything in there for you. It's easy to get back and forth down the hallway with that. Our bathrooms are the old dorm communal style bathrooms. So, you guys, you do have privacy in those bathrooms, though. You have shower stalls and curtains and doors that lock. But, we do get some questions about what to bring. And we give you a very detailed packing list in our enrollment pack, but not everything's there. So, if you have a question, certainly ask us. And, you guys, if you're potential enrollees, you're probably either talking to me or Marshall Shehorn. You can email either of us or just call the office here at the 800 number. Most anyone who answers the phone can help you with those general type packing questions. One thing we do get asked, though, is school supplies, because some of you won't know your schedule until you actually arrive here on campus. So how about Eddie? Tell us, what kind of general supplies did you bring when you first showed up?
I brought pencils, pens. Also, another thing that I have to add on about your white socks and black socks, bring a silver Sharpie and a black Sharpie to write your laundry number on, because that's very important, because in case something, like you lose something, then they just track your laundry number. But just bring pens, notebook, paper, pencils, backpack, and like a little light for, like, if study hall's over, you can still do your homework at night without your TAC getting mad for using the light.
Okay, good one. All right, now we have a question coming in from social media, so we're going to get this one out. What would you suggest would be the top 3 challenges for new cadets within the first few weeks of school? So, Andrew, we'll go to you for this. What were a couple of challenges that you faced during the first few weeks of school that you were able to overcome?
I would say my biggest challenge was just getting used to actually having to do the homework, waking up at 6 a.m. almost every morning, having this structured outline almost every day. Before Camden, I never got that, so it was a big challenge for me to get used to it over time.
How long would you say it took you to get used to it?
Probably a week or so. I think I've adjusted fairly quickly to it. I know a lot of kids took months to get used to it, but if you can just get over the fact that this is how it's supposed to be, you can easily get used to it.
Okay. And Nick, what would you say a big challenge is initially when a new student's coming in that maybe you had to overcome while you were here?
Another big challenge is getting to know people. When you get there, you're probably not going to know anyone. You're going to be the new kid on the block, just like probably half the school when you come in. You're going to be real nervous. You're going to be timid. That's how all they are. So it's kind of, you got to kind of learn new people and learn who they are and what they do, and get to know a lot of friends. And it gets better after about the first week. Everyone starts to open up, and it's kind of turns into more of a brotherhood than a school.
Good. And Eddie, we'll go to you for how do you get over it? What's a way that you use to kind of get over these challenges? Because like for you, you're in California, it's a long way from home. So tell us a little bit about that challenge, because homesickness is a big issue for some guys.
Just a quick way to solve it is like, wait, what was the question again?
About the challenge of being so far away from home. How did you overcome being homesick?
It's more like as if, once after like a week and a half of being here, it's just like, of course you're going to text your parents, you're going to call your parents, you're going to miss your parents, miss your family, miss your girlfriend, dog. But like once you get here and you really get to know people, it's more of the fact that everybody's your brother. Like there's just a bond that like in public schools you don't get, but that you get here because of your brotherhood. And we're all so close that like it's just easier to overcome stuff together.
Okay, good. One thing that I would like to add to that is I always tell the students that I interview, make sure you find an adult when you first arrive that you can talk to. So if you are experiencing homesickness or having any issues at all here, you can speak with a teacher, a secretary, myself, someone else in admissions or here in the office. And we have ways to kind of get you through that. Some guys struggle. Usually the younger guys adapt much better than the older guys. If you're coming into us as a junior or senior, you've had a little more freedom, and so there's a lot more you're giving up. Maybe you've been able to jump in that car when you wanted to, or text your girlfriend right away 24/7, and it's a new world. So but we're here to kind of help you get through those things, and just let us know. We can't help you if we don't know. I have a question coming in again. It says, my parents want me to acquire useful additional skills such as cooking, speed touch typing. How can I do this? Well, there's some of that we can accomplish here. Now, we are a college prep school, so we don't offer any tech prep training. We don't have, say, a cooking class. We don't have, auto mechanic class, those type courses. But there are different clubs and activities that you can get in. I know this year we had a class that would go over and prepare, cooking, do some cooking exercises in the mess hall. We had our international students actually prepare a dish from their country to share. We've had other students in the past that were interested in, like auto mechanics. They've taken apart engines and put them back together during their free time, or maybe as part of a Boy Scouts project or something. So if you're interested in those type things, there are opportunities there, but there are not a whole lot of elective type classes that will offer those. Let's see, I have another question. It says, when do new cadets show up? Yeah, new cadets show up August 26th at 9 a.m. It starts the process. We try to break it up by the alphabet so that you'll give A through M a morning time, and then the rest of the alphabet the afternoon. But you don't have to stick to that. As long as you get here between the hours of 9 and 4, we're happy. That gets us out of here earlier. So anytime on August 26th after 9 o'clock and before 4, you should be fine. Talk about the registration process for a second. Andrew, what's your memory from the first day of registration when you arrived on campus? What was something that really sticks out that happened during the registration process?
First time I got onto campus after driving from New York, walked into the gym, which was where we got all the uniforms that we needed. And the thing that stuck to me most was the massive amount of kids that were going to be there, that were there all getting their uniforms, their trunks and all that. And it just really stuck to me that I'm going to be surrounded by these guys all the times. And just a new beginning for me, really.
Okay, and good, because everyone arriving on August 26th is a new student. We have our returning students coming in on a different day, so everyone is going through the same experiences at the same time, which makes it pretty cool. It's easier to bond. You're all nervous. It's a new adventure. I would warn parents to plan on being on campus for quite a while. You'll probably be on our campus doing the entire registration process, 4 to 5 hours, to get through all the paperwork, to get him fitted for uniforms, also to get him moved into his barracks and help him set up his room. And then we will ask you to leave pretty quickly after that, because we don't want to promote homesickness. And the longer that parents tend to linger on campus, the harder the homesickness is for both sets. Again, most of the time the cadets adjust fine. It's the parents that we're more concerned about, that are crying on the way home and whatnot. We keep the boys really busy the first couple of weeks of school, and don't really give them a chance to get too homesick. Another question coming in is, what is the hair length for the school year? Now, everybody has long hair because it's the summer, so don't look at these guys right now. But Benitez, can you tell us a little bit about how short the hair has to be during the school term?
When you first get here as a new boy, even old boys, it's mainly on your company, but I know for a fact is you have to have your head shaved to at least a 1. So after that, after you get your head shaved to a 1, everybody has to be, the same. And then depending on your tack or like your company or like the blue book says 3 inches is the maximum, but depending on your company, it could be like 2 inches or something. They could change how long they want your hair to be. But the one thing that you always have to have is a clean shaven face.
Yes, and we have students here that we have a barber on campus that will take care of all the haircuts. That's included in the tuition. Or we can take guys into town. We have teachers and faculty that take students in town all the time for haircuts and things. So it can be either way. But we guide you, and we'll allow you to have some hair. I mean, we have plenty of guys that still use product in their hair throughout the year and things like that. So it has to be short, it has to be above the ear, but looking neat mainly. No sideburns, no facial hair, no tattoos or piercings, things like that. That's what we're looking for. Okay, a good question coming in. Nick, we're going to throw this one to you. What's the food like in the cafeteria?
Okay, so the food, obviously, it's not going to be like 5-star gourmet meals, but the food is pretty good. You have 3 meals a day. They're hot. In the cafeteria, or known as the dining hall, it's served family style. So you have a big bowl filled with whatever food it is, and you'll share it throughout the table. And if you're still hungry when the food's out on the table, you can walk up to the cafeteria ladies who are up there, and you can get seconds. You can get thirds or fourths, as much as you want. The food is good. It's the same. They'll follow a calendar, so you'll have this meal on that day, and for what meal they'll have, breakfast, pancakes or waffles. It's whatever they have planned, and they're all good. If you don't like what they have peanut butter and jellies, and they'll have those every meal.
And you have a salad bar for lunch and dinner as well. So if you don't like what's being served, there are other options there. I always joke with families and say, we're here in the South, we appreciate, fried chicken or fried pork chops and collard greens. But, if you're coming to us from Oregon or California, that might not be your best meal. So there are other options for you available. But the food, everybody has a favorite meal. Everybody has a worst meal. But Andrew, tell me your favorite food here at Camden. What's something that you enjoy when they serve it in the mess hall?
My favorite's probably the grilled cheese. It's pretty basic.
Grilled cheese. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Eddie? What's your favorite thing they serve in your mess hall?
It has to be the baby back ribs that they have.
Okay. And Nick, how about you?
My favorite's the biscuits and gravy.
I was waiting for that one. That's everybody's favorite. That's usually Wednesday morning,
That's
right?
everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's every
All
morning,
right.
every Wednesday.
Yeah. So I have another question coming in now from social media. It says, how long are you cut off from communication with your parents? Andrew, we'll go back to you for this one. How long are you cut off from communication with your parents?
Well, if you're a returning boy, obviously it doesn't pertain to many, but returning boy, you get your phone taken away for the first week. If you're a new boy, you get your phone taken away for the first 2 weeks. But after that, you can talk to your parents whenever you want. Obviously, if not during school time or study hall, but free time or any other time that you can find, you can talk to them as long as you stay by the rules and not get your phone taken away.
Right. And I want you guys to understand, we never cut the communication off. You're always free to write letters. You can email. We just don't want the voice contact there because, it's easy to call home. Mom hasn't seen her baby in a couple of weeks. She hears his voice, or a couple of days even, and hears his voice and begins to cry. And then she starts crying in New Hampshire. We have a son crying now in Camden, and we're going down a slippery slope. So it's not that we're cutting them off from the world. There are still ways to communicate. And care packages is a brilliant way to help us overcome homesickness. I'm sure all these guys here have received a care package at some point, and the guys can start receiving those immediately. So, Nick, tell me, what's your favorite care package? What's something you've received in the mail from home that you really look forward to getting?
Well, my dad, I got a lot of care packages during the school year. My dad would send me probably a week. He'd just send me a list of what he's going to send me, and I'd say, oh, I don't want this and I want that. And he'll send me snacks and drink, chips and whatever I want just to snack on whenever I'm hungry. But you can also have them send you a letter or something that will remind you of them, or have a picture that you can put up in your room or something. Just the little things that really make you feel better.
And we do allow wall hangings in the room. A lot of guys bring a bulletin board, and they'll have pictures of the family or girlfriends or whatever up there, and that's completely fine as well. I have another question coming in. Is a TV allowed in your room, and what channels can you get? Let's see. How about we'll go back to Levine for this one. Tell us what channels you can get in your room on the TV.
Channels? I don't believe you can have a cable box.
There's no cable box. Exactly. I was waiting for that.
No cable
so there's
box.
no ESPN. There's no Comedy Central, anything. There's you can pick up a digital converter, and you can get the local channels here out of Columbia, South Carolina, and maybe out of Florence, South Carolina, for the networks. But that's about it. For most guys using the TVs for video games, they're allowed to bring video games with them, and so most guys bring a smaller TV. Doesn't take up too much room, because the most important thing to fit on that desk would be the books. And so, but a small TV for video games is fine. Let's see. How about Benitez? Do you remember, when did you first receive your schedule of classes?
Your schedule was handed to you, I believe, on the day of registration.
That's correct.
Yes.
We'll give you that.
After everything, there's like a certain process where, you go here, get your picture taken for your ID, go to the nurses, you give them any kind of medication, any concerns. You go to forget who, but like
several different stages.
Schedule. Yeah, it's just a whole bunch of different stages, and then the last one's just the gym, and then back to your barracks assigned.
For your academic schedule, though, you do get a chance to meet with the academic department on the day of registration. And you can actually call them over the summer if you'd like. They're here if you want to know kind of the classes that we are signing your son up for. But traditionally what we do is take the classes that the previous school, the school he's attended last school year, what they recommended is what we place them in for the school year here at Camden. If you want to change a class or whatever, you'll have that opportunity to do that on the day of enrollment with the academic department. If you're interested in our dual enrollment program with the enrolling in college courses, and you have to have a certain GPA and certain qualifications to enroll in those, and this is for 10th, 11th, and 12th graders only, you can call us as well. Our academic department needs to hear from you prior to school starting. We may contact you based on your transcript. If we see a really stellar transcript come in, we'll contact you and recommend some college courses. But if you haven't been contacted and you're interested in dual enrollment, contact us. And just for the ones of you who don't know, dual enrollment is where you can earn college credit while you're still in high school. So we have a number of students that are enrolled in those courses. Is there another question coming in now? Is there a way to fast track the enrollment process so it doesn't take so long? Absolutely. Actually, Marshall and I are kind of working on that right now. New students and returning students who haven't submitted their paperwork, we try to follow up with them and hold your hand through the process and say, hey, we're missing page M of the enrollment pack. Or, whatever. The more paperwork you can get to us, the more information you can get to us prior to that day will absolutely speed up your day, your enrollment process. We want to have those in as early as possible. The due date was July 20th. However, we're still accepting forms as usual, and we'll probably be accepting forms right up until the day before school starts. So it's not a problem. Just get us those forms. You can email them to us. You can fax them to us. But as much information as possible will speed up your process that day. We have had a few families in the past that are able to speed their way through the administration building because the only people they have to see is the nurse, because everybody has to stop at the nurse's station. But all the other stations have been skipped. So if you work with us, we'll get you through there pretty quickly. Good question. Is Wi-Fi available in your room? How about Nick? Take that one. Is Wi-Fi available in your room?
So unfortunately, Wi-Fi is not available in your room, which is probably the biggest things that kids don't know about Camden. They, all used to have Wi-Fi in their room at home and everywhere on their house, but here there's no Wi-Fi in your, because most kids usually get on their phone before they go, or they're on it during study or something, and there's Wi-Fi, and so they're busy doing that and not doing something they're supposed to, and so we don't have Wi-Fi in the barracks. But if you need Wi-Fi to email your parents or download something on your computer, you can go to the academic building or the Carlisle house, which both have Wi-Fi.
Or the library.
All right. Or the library, correct, yes. Now, we want to remind you again, we have a lot of questions coming in, so I appreciate that, the viewers out there, but send more. We know they're out there, so if you're thinking about it, wondering about it, there's probably several more that are. So please go to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, use the hashtag Camden Military, and we will get to your question. You can also post it right here on YouTube in the comment section. We'll address the questions. Email it to us, Snapchat. There's plenty of ways to interact with us, and you'll get to hear from these three young men tell you about their experiences. We're going to move on to the next question now. How long do you have for free time? Benitez, can you cover that one? How long do you have for free time in the afternoon?
You get out of class at 3:15. You have to stay in your barracks at 3:30 for the 3:30 formation, and free time goes from 3:30 to 5:30. So you have about 2 hours.
Good. And what happens during the free time, Nick? What's some activities that you can do?
So during your free time, if you're attending a sport, if you play a sport, that's when you'd be doing your practicing. If you're not doing any sport, you can, stay in your room, play your video games, or go to the pool, or go to the Carlisle house and get some food, or watch TV, get Wi-Fi. And if you need any help on school or something, and you're gonna go the extra mile, you can go to your teacher and ask them, oh, I need help on this, and they'll help you then too.
All right. I have another question coming in about roommates. When are the roommates assigned? Roommates are assigned usually right before school starts. So the day that you arrive is typically when you'll find out your roommate. We do that for a lot of different reasons. We used to kind of give you the roommates ahead of time so you could call and maybe meet over the summer and that kind of thing. But then we would have parents change their mind at the last minute or something like that. And so the kid would have met this other student for no reason, and it may have been a flight or something like that. So we typically reserve your roommate until the day you arrive here on campus. Again, the TAC officers, the adults in charge, will be calling all the parents to introduce themselves, to let you know what company you're in, where you'll be housed. And when those TACs call the parents, feel free to ask them, hey, has a roommate assignment been made? Sometimes they have, and they'll tell you. So yeah, just if you want to call them, be proactive. We have open lines of communication here at Camden, and we're proud of that. So always keep the questions coming. Let's see here. We're going to go to a different question, a little bit about laundry we want to talk about. How's the laundry handled? Andrew, can you talk to us about that? Do you have to wash your own clothes?
Fortunately not. There are certain days for each company that when you can give your laundry in and it'll be taken, and someone else will do a full bag of laundry for you. And it'll take a couple of days to come back to you.
Okay. And where do you put the laundry? You put it in a laundry bag and place it? Come to your room to pick it up?
It depends on what the company, usually the tax says. I know for abandoned staff, we usually leave them out onto the right where the brick road and the road where the cars drive by. So then the person who picks them all up can easily get them and put it in his car.
Okay. So good news is you do not have to wash your clothes. They come back to you. They're washed. They're folded. Basically, you just have to put them away. And you do have some Footlocker in your room and a press, we call it. Several different areas that you would place your clothes, but you don't have to wash them. I have a question coming in. Do you have to be physically fit, and are there PT or swim tests? Benitez, how about you? Do you have to be physically fit, and are there PT or swim tests?
You don't have to be physically fit, but we do have physical training as a battalion, meaning all the companies do it at the same time, and usually a company leads it. So I'm in Delta, so it would say Delta PT has started or something like that, and then they'll do the exercises with you, and then you follow them, and after that's over, you just go back to your barracks and get ready for school. For swim tests, there's no swim test, but if you want to test yourself on how fast you swim or whatever, we have a pool, and you can do that during your free time. But we don't require any of that. We don't require any physical stuff besides sports. In sports, they might train you extra, but you don't need it for the school.
And sports are strongly encouraged / required. You either have to participate in a varsity sport playing for the school, or interscholastic sport playing for the school, or intramurals here on campus. So you're gonna get in shape if you're not in shape, but there's no need to worry about it initially. We're not going to come in and demand 100 push-ups. We are not a drop and give me 20 type school. And I know a lot of you have visited the campus. There's some watching that have not visited the campus. We are a military school, and we're proud of that. But Andrew, what would you say to someone who is thinking, yeah, military school, I don't really want to learn how to fight a war. I don't want to be a soldier. What would you say to those guys?
I'd say I was in the same boat as you, but it's not like we're learning how to, go off into some foreign nation and fight for the country or anything. We're just learning how to be disciplined, learn military, the core of the military, but not actually like being in it, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. It's the core values of the military, the time management, the organization, the discipline. That's what we're focused on. So not so much about military training and dropping give me 20. So don't believe the movies and everything you see in the media there. That's not really how it is here at Camden. Another question coming in. What is the Carlisle House? Okay, Eddie, tell me, what is the Carlisle House?
Oh, the Carlisle House it's like a big building. It's like a recreation hall kind of thing. Like, I don't know, like a YMCA kind of thing, where we have about 3 or 4 pool tables. We have 4 couches, 2 TVs, a ping pong table, a foosball table, and an air hockey table, all in one room. And then in the separate room, we have a couple chairs, tables, another TV, a snack bar where you could buy your little snacks like soup, chocolate bars, ice cream, drinks. And then we have another room where that's just like a quiet room where, like if you want to talk to your parents, if you want to text your girlfriend, if you want to FaceTime somebody, if you want to just watch a movie without being disturbed, that's the place to go. Or just to hang out with friends. Like if you don't want to be outside, you could just be like, hey, come on, let's go over to the Carlisle House. We'll hang out there, and it's just a nice little place to go on your free time and
Good.
buy some stuff.
And that's where the swimming pool is. I don't know if you mentioned that yet, but swimming pool is right behind the Carlisle House. So that's pretty popular in August in South Carolina. A lot of guys will be over at the swimming pool at the start of school. Another question coming in, what size footlocker do we need to bring, and does it need to be a specific material? No, it does not. We give you the dimensions in our enrollment forms in the parent handbook. You'll have the dimensions within the packing list that will tell you the size that will fit underneath the bunk beds in each room. But some guys bring the black plastic, and then some bring the more traditional military style footlockers. We have them for sale here from the academy, or you can buy them from any large retailer, Kmart, Bed Bath & Beyond, Walmart, etc. And as long as you get the size, and within an inch or so, we can work with. But if you go, 6 inches above the size that we've given you, it won't fit, and you'll have to buy another one. And another question coming in: how structured are the sports during the week and the weekend? How many weeks are there competitions with other schools? I'm not sure which guys play sports. Andrew, do you play any sports for the interscholastic sports?
I play varsity tennis.
Varsity tennis. So how often did you guys have practice and other tennis competition?
The coach wants us to practice every day right after school. We rarely have any days where we don't play. And sometimes it depends on the coach and the sport. We can sometimes have weekend practices as well.
All right. And Eddie, how about you? Anything you'd like to add?
I play varsity football and varsity soccer. Next year I'll be doing cross country and varsity football or varsity soccer. It's kind of more like a Monday through Thursday kind of practice. All your free time taken away because of practice, and then Fridays sometimes you have a game, or like Saturdays you have a game. But it's just like the furthest you'll travel for a game is about like an hour and a half, 2 hours away. It's not too far, but it's just like it's a nice, easy way to meet more people too.
Yeah, and sports is really a big deal here. And we play we play schools in South Carolina, North Carolina. We travel some distance, play a mixture of private and public schools. We're independent, so we do have some fun when we get to beat up on some of the bigger schools, but sometimes they beat up on us, So, but it's very important to get plugged into the school, and sports is one of the best ways to do that. Got a question that came in. Are there any chances for group runs in the morning to stay fit? Absolutely. Guys get up in the morning. Some guys like to get up, 30 minutes, an hour earlier for running or for going over to the weight room to work out. So absolutely, you can stay as fit as you want, work out as much as you want. Another question for me, I guess. What if a cadet has allergies to laundry detergent that we use? You use one particular brand here. Not a problem. When you meet with the nurse and we ask you on the enrollment forms, just make sure that we know all of your allergies. We'll take care of you with that, I'll tell you. So just let us know, and then we'll take care of that. I want to remind you of some upcoming events here on campus as well. We're going to have an open house coming up in August, where we be a Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, where you come here on campus, you'll get a tour. We'll try to have some students come back and join us. It's hard to get cadets to come back to military school in the summer, but we'll try our best. But feel free, if you've already been accepted or if you're still thinking about it, to join us at that open house. Or you can also do visits anytime throughout the week. Just call us Monday through Friday. We can see you by appointment, and we'll show you this campus. If you want to talk with other students, if you want to talk to one of these guys that are joining us tonight, or maybe another student, or if parents want references from a particular area of the country, let me know. Just send me an email. And my email address is admissions@camdenmilitary.com. That comes straight to me. I'll respond back to you and give you some names of parents who can talk to you about their experience here. And also, if you're watching from our website, there's some other previous YouTube Live events and Google Hangouts that we've done with parents, so that you can kind of hear from their point of view. Guys, one thing I want to talk about, because I get this question a lot. Typically, if you go into a teenage boy's room, it's not that clean. I don't know how many of you have clean rooms now, and don't show me because I know you're at home. But if you were here at Camden, tell these guys, how clean does your room have to be, and how often is it inspected? And Eddie, we'll go to you for that. Eddie.
Okay. You just have to have like a very clean room, organized. Like your books have to be stacked in a certain way. You can't have everything just laying on a desk. You can't have your pencils just laying out. It has to be like a nice, clean desk. Everything like stored neatly where it should be. Your bed has to be a certain way. We have to have a thing called hospital corner and hospital fold. We'll teach all the new boys that the first day of school, but you have to just have a nice clean bed. Your footlocker has to be stored nicely. Your footlocker has to be clean and organized inside. Your press, which is your closet, we call press, has to be nice, organized. How we have it, we have a certain way of how we organize it, and it must be that kind of way, or else you kind of fail the room inspection. We have room inspections every day, depending on your company. I know Delta Company, we have a room inspection every day, and like we have this thing called merits. It's a nice way to, if you live close, then it's a nice way of, when we have furloughs, like breaks, like extended weekends, it's 50 merits to go home, and it's just a nice way to see your parents, and you're basically rewarded for cleaning your room.
Yeah,
how it should be.
And the merits, I'm glad you brought that up. The merits, he mentioned furloughs, and those are not breaks. I get the questions from parents: how often will I get to see my son, and that kind of thing. If you look at our school calendar, it will show you breaks and furlough dates. Furloughs are opportunities for these guys to go home. So they have to earn their way. They have to have good grades, good behavior, good room inspections. Breaks are guaranteed for everyone. I often joke that we want a break as well. So we're going to send them home over the breaks at Christmas and Thanksgiving and spring break. But, always just call the TAC officer if a furlough weekend is coming up. If you happen not to live close, like, Eddie's from California, you may be able to find a friend that lives closer within the southeastern region that you can go home with for a weekend or something like that. Keep in mind, we'll have students here. Last year, I think we had over 36 states and about 13, 14 different countries. So for most guys, if you're an American citizen, you're still considered local. You're still pretty close to home. But just let us know if you're interested in going on a furlough weekend and you don't really know anybody that lives close. We can give you some names of some cities and where they're from, and maybe you can start making a new friend. A lot of the kids that live along the coast of South Carolina are our most popular. Myrtle Beach, Hilton Head, even down in Georgia, Savannah, and of course our Floridians. But let's see, we want to know, is there a policy on bullying? Are there any problems with it, and how do you deal with that? Levine, let's go to you for that one. What would you tell someone who's worried about bullying here at Camden Military?
I'll tell you that it's going to be a problem just like any other school, but it's such a closed community. there's not that many people, and everyone's around each other all the time. So the TACs are going to find out fairly soon. The chain of command will find out fairly quickly, and it'll be dealt with quickly as well.
Yeah, I'm quick to tell my parents, yes, we have bullying. There's bullying everywhere, and there always will be. However, like Andrew said, we're very small. And believe it or not, guys do like to talk. And we have a chain of command here at Camden, and the chain of command has to kind of make it their responsibility to be an extra set of eyes for us. Adults can't be everywhere all the time. So we do give these students some responsibility of letting us know if something is going on within their barracks or within their peer groups there. So I have another question coming in now. It says, what do cadets do on Saturday if they don't play sports or have class? Someone tell me a typical Saturday, Nick.
So Saturday is probably going to be your favorite time, favorite day during the Camden week. So you wake up. There's optional breakfast at 8 o'clock. So if you want breakfast, you can walk over to the dining hall and get breakfast. And if you don't, you can sleep in till 9 or 10. And then when you wake up, you've got free time. Or you might have to clean depending on which barracks or which company you're in. And then after you clean, you have free time until 12 o'clock. Then you have lunch. After lunch, you have free time until 6 o'clock, which is when we have dinner. And between 12 and 6 o'clock, that's when you need to get your showers done. And it's pretty much free time all day. And then after dinner, you have more free time inside the barracks from 7 to 9.
All right. And what would you say on a Sunday? What's your typical Sunday like, Andrew?
Every Sunday we wake up, and first thing we do is clean our rooms a little bit and then get ready for church. We'll get dressed in the class uniform. The parade uniform that Eddie's wearing, and all the companies will march off into the church for a few hours. And then after that, it's a little free time until 12 o'clock, lunch. After that, it's free time for the rest of the day until dinner. And then after dinner, it's another segment of free time.
Good. And I wanted to bring up the church and talk about that because everyone is required to attend a service on Sunday morning, and you can go here on campus or you can go into town to a church of your choice. We have a full-time chaplain here, so we have different speakers that come in throughout the year. But anyway, if you're of a non-Christian faith, we give you your time to practice throughout the week, and we don't force you in there, but you have to study your own doctrine during that time. Because again, from having kids from all over the country, all over the world, very diverse when it comes to faith, and we want to make sure that we can accommodate everyone. Another question: are there any organized social events planned for cadets during the week? I would say maybe not organized social, but they have sports, they have clubs and activities. Guys, what do you think about that? Nick, would you say there's any organized social activities for guys during the week?
Throughout the week, there's many opportunities throughout the year where you can go off campus and go around town and stuff. There's FCA, which is a Federation of Christian Athletes, where you go church, and then you can also attend it during spring break for 2 days, and you go and you play sport about God and all. And then there's also just a bunch of little, movie trips or little, meals that you can go off campus to go to. There's probably about one every week or every other week. It's not like, like 5 a week. It's not like that. You have to spend some time on campus. But other than that, there's nothing that really much around.
Yeah. And, we always ask questions, guys. Don't come in and just be silent. If there's something you want to do, somewhere you want to go, talk to a teacher, talk to staff. We're all here. We understand you're at boarding school and you can't have Chick-fil-A every day. But if you, come up and say, hey, Mr. Robinson, can you take me to Chick-fil-A or McDonald's? As long as your behavior is good, your grades are good, you're doing well, sure. I took Eddie to church a few weeks ago with my family. He wanted to go into town. So, just let us know if there's an opportunity for us to accommodate you, we will. So feel free to ask us questions. I have another question coming in. How many foreign language classes do we have? We offer French and Spanish. We currently have native speakers in both. So we can kind of accommodate you as far as you want to go. Spanish 1, 2, 3, 4, French 1, 2, 3, 4. We also will be offering the dual enrollment, so you'll have a chance to maybe earn some foreign language credit as well for college. Who teaches the guys to clean their rooms and make their beds and get used to the Camden system? We'll go back to Levine for this one. Who teaches you to clean your room and kind of gets you used to being here at Camden initially?
The chain of command will teach you everything that you need to know, from cleaning the room to your fallouts to the basics for every single day.
Yeah, so you're basically a roommate. It will be assigned to you initially as kind of like a mentor. And then, you know, following that, you can kind of have a say in who your roommate is. But you'll have a lot of big brothers here to kind of lead you through that whole process. One thing I wanted to touch on too, and I should have touched on this when we were back at the bullying when we were talking about that, there's no second class system here at Camden. Some military schools have it where the new students, you know, go by names, plebes, knobs, etc. They have certain restrictions. They can't walk on the sidewalk. You know, they can't walk on the grass, whatever. We don't do any of that here at Camden. Everyone is treated equally from the first day you arrive. And so that does help alleviate and cut out some of the bullying that's traditionally associated with military school. I do get the question too, and I want to put this out to all of our football players. This year is the first year in several years that we've done this, but all of our football players will be registering early. They will come in on the Monday prior to the 26th, which is the 21st. And we want you guys to come. Our first football game is about 2 weeks after enrollment. So come in on the 21st if at all possible. It's not mandatory that you do it, but it certainly will help us, you know, game time. So come in on the 21st, all football players for varsity. Another question coming in. Do you have a teacher in the study hall on Sunday through Thursday, or cadets run it? Someone, let's see, Nick, tell me a little bit about how the study hall runs during the school year.
Okay, so just to start you off, it goes from Monday. Oh, yes, it does go Monday through Thursday. I'm sorry. There is a teacher known as the AOC. It's assigned once every week. It's different every night. There's a little calendar, which will also show you which AOC will be there in the night. If you're lucky, I'll be your teacher and maybe a subject you need help on. Study hall goes from 7:30 to 9. You're in your rooms, no electronics, you're studying, and if you're done, or you're just sitting there, you're reading a book. Anything else that like you think that you can do, you know, like playing games or being on your phone, you're not going to be able to do. The AOC will be walking around the hallway, making sure that's quiet. If anyone needs help, they get the help that they need. And you don't want to be rude, or you don't want to be talking during study hall, because you'll get a real punishment, because kids are trying to get better in their subjects rather than have someone playing around.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. We have those teachers there to kind of keep the guys on task and make sure that, you know, they stay on task with their homework, and make sure they have their assignments actually written down so they'll know what to be doing during the study hall. But if for some reason they don't have it, the teacher's there to give them the assignments, which is, it makes things a whole lot easier when you're trying to get that homework accomplished. All right, we're going to wrap things up, but wanted to give each cadet an opportunity. So everyone listen to this question, because I want each of you to address it individually. What's one piece of advice that you wish someone would have given you before your first day here at Camden? What's something you wish someone would have let you know, or a piece of advice that you would give to new students coming in? And we'll start with Benitez.
One thing that was really hard for me getting used to was taking showers with all guys. So I just wish, you know, like in these new barracks, it's more like you have your own curtains, and like they're not ripped like the old barracks that we used to have. But I just wish, you know, like somebody would have told me, like it's going to be very structured, very disciplined. So don't mess around in your formations. Don't mess around in the hallways. Just try and not get in trouble, because it was kind of hard for me.
Okay. And Nick, what would you offer? What's your piece of advice to a new student coming in that you wish maybe you would have known?
One real helpful advice is don't lock up. Don't be timid. Don't be scared and not talk to anyone. If you come there your first day or your second day and you've already made probably 2 to 3 friends and you're on a good track, you'll become real popular. Everyone will like you. You know, don't be mean and talk crap to all the other kids, because if you say something to some person, chances are they're going to say something back, and then it's going to get ugly real. So if you come here and you make friends real quickly, and you become real nice to everyone, and you open up. It's kind of real smooth, and the year will go by very fast.
All right, and Andrew, your turn. Piece of advice for new students.
Best advice I can give is don't give up, as cliche as it sounds. It's going to get tough at some point of the years, the chain of command, the tax, maybe even your roommate. You'll get a hard time from them. Subjects might be getting too hard for you or whatever. Just don't give up. It's all going to end smoothly, and you'll be happy with what happens in the end if you just don't give up.
And I've got to follow up on that just for a second, Andrew. Guys, I guess I'm going to go back down the line and just ask you all this. What do your parents think about you being at Camden? I mean, there's obviously a before and after story for everybody. But what would you say? Are your parents proud of you now, Andrew?
Oh, certainly. They, before Camden, didn't care that much about school, didn't care about homework or anything. And I was pretty disrespectful to them. But then after Camden, I realized like they're putting so much effort in for me. I need to start respecting that. I need to start putting effort into school. And they've realized that. They've told me that they've told me they've seen a gigantic difference in my attitude towards school and towards them as well.
And Nick, how about you? Your parents proud of you? Seen any changes?
My parents are thrilled. I mean, they've seen a lot of changes, disciplinary changes. I've also got a lot better academically. I came to Camden having C to D average, and now I'm an all A student. My parents love that. If my mom meets a new person, she'll be like, "Oh yeah, hi, I'm blah blah blah." And my son goes to military school. I mean, she's thrilled to have me go here. She's real supportive of the school, real supportive of me. So yeah, it's real good.
All right. Well, guys, I'm going to wrap it up, but just want to give you some important dates before we sign off. August 26th is the date for all new students to report. So August 26th, 9 o'clock, we want to see you. But again, please, any paperwork that we send to you, enrollment forms, etc., get to us ahead of that date, either via fax or email, and it will save you a lot of time here on campus. Another important date is August 19th. We have an on-campus open house. It starts at 9 a.m. And just give us a call, send us an email, and let us know you're coming. We'll give you a tour of the campus. You'll have a chance to meet with admissions reps and even academics. And hopefully we'll have a couple of cadets here that you can speak with too. And then school, of course, starts the 28th, I believe, which is the Monday. Will be the first day of class for these students. So anyway, we look forward to seeing everyone at enrollment, and we want to thank you for joining us tonight. It's turned into kind of a long one tonight. So thanks for sticking with us this long. And if you have any questions, feel free to continue to reach out to us via email at missions@camdenmilitary.com. That's ADMISSIONS@camdenmilitary.com. And either myself or the Associate Director, Marshall Shiorn, will give you a call and get your questions answered and walk you through the enrollment process. Again, I want to thank you for joining us here from Camden Military Academy. Have a good night.